All right, we're coming into the camp. What seemed like forever. Yeah. Some gravel roads. Groundhog here. What's up, little dude? Woodchuck is not afraid. Forecast has the highs in the upper 90s with heat indexes in the triple digits. So there's communal camping in the bunks, and you can pitch a tent. I have reservations about both of those things. And if it gets too hot, I guess I'll just sleep in the car. All right, let's see what's got going on here. Neat. Oh, this place looks like it, not only does it have cabins, it looks like it almost has a swimming pool and everything. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so we got most of the stuff set up. I got my fake tent, standard, showers behind there, but I forgot the battery. So I can't run anything, and there's not any power here. So the cabins are air conditioned, but people have some snorage. So I'm thinking I might try and sleep outside before going into the cabins. The cabins are really nice. They're basic, but they're cool. So we're good. Scott and Kim are over there. Murdoch's naked, so. And he's swearing, so you know.
What's
going on? All right, so I'm going to get garbed up and mingle in the main hall. Continue to make friends. Everybody here is really, really nice. Super welcoming. You know, it's a relaxed atmosphere. Okay, good morning. We are on the first morning here. Not even 9 o'clock yet. Got the our tent set up. Pretty much everyone's set up. We have another canvas bell tent on the other side of the cabins here. I think what they're doing is for the battles, sparring. It's going to be over here on this side of the park where the big fire pit is. We used it a little bit last night, but no joke, it's already 85 degrees. And nearly 100% humidity. So most of the activity is being done inside in the hall, just because that's where it's going to be comfortable. So they moved the vendors in there, so it's a little crowded, but I'll see if I can quickly grab some footage before the event officially starts. So I brought the old House of the Iron Ring standard, and that's not approved, so that doesn't mean anything in this game. We'd have to rework it, take the draconic lettering off, put standardized historical text on there. My tent's kind of out of game. It's not really period, obviously, so it works kind of in the back here. They're not real fussy about props right now as this group gets started. So the other thing we have is a shower. So this is the shower tent, which looks more period than anything else, but still not, you know, it's pretty modern. But in here we have the water jug and then the on-demand hot water system. So cleanliness is extremely important, especially when you're out doing vigorous activity. Keeping hydrated, keeping clean. You know, especially if you're going to be doing, we're going to have the coronation and the dance and stuff later tonight. You don't want to be smelling like a foot when you're in commune with everybody else. So I found that having a portable shower, you know, especially for remote events, went and got a lithium iron phosphate battery to run this stuff, so I can run it completely without power anywhere but within where it is. So the last part about that is I got to get a solar panel so it can be charging when we're not using it, and then try to figure out how to hide it. A lot of that stuff can be behind it, or, you know, we can mask it with some cloth and that kind of stuff. And now you guys are fully decked out. I'm pretty much...
Give me my cudgel.
That's actually the royal cudgel.
Royal cudgel, but yes.
We gotta hand that one over to
And you've made a lot of this stuff yourself. What are some things that... talk me through your garb here.
Okay, you're better at talking about garb than I am.
I'll start at the top of Cam and work our way down. The hat, and my hat too, are made by John Epler. They're felted wool, bicocked 14th century hats. Then she's got her little veils, little silk veils. The pins, she's got a Santiago Compostela. And then we've got the Plantagenet lion. We got Plantagenet lions and Cross of St. Andrew.
I've got some veil pins that are, these hold the veils on, and they're lamp work glass, done by hand. Yep.
And then this is a Spanish pin. Mine's from Scotland, and then these are Angevin, but the country's not there anymore. It was England and France, Henry II, Richard Lionheart, John First, those guys. That's Plantagenets. Then she's got a handmade silk, lined with silk dress that she did with a hand appliqued gold kind of burgundy lion at this angle, but it's that color shift lion she's got. She did the tibbets that she did herself and block printed the ermine, and then that one's sliding down a little bit with the linen shirt, linen shift, historically correct, and her rose ring, and then 14th century copy engagement ring, and then a 14th century wedding ring,
and glass bangles, which you see glass bangles everywhere. Like, if anybody was working with glass, there was a glass bangle.
She's got her little brass chain.
No, this is gold.
It's gold?
That's gold.
That's gold?
That's gold plated.
I did not know that was gold plated. Anyway, gold plated chain, silver buttons.
Pewter.
I thought they were the silver ones.
Oh.
Okay, these are the pewter buttons, and they're hand done. And then she's got her little linen hose on. Scandalous, we can see her ankles. And small clothes, she's got her ladies' brays on, which are like little shorts. And then they're gartered in place. And little turn shoes. And then I'll go from the bottom up since we're down here. I've got on my yellow buskin boots, which are basically the riding boots out of the Gaston Phoebus book. I got my gold spurs. I have my Order of the Garter, velvet and gold garter. That's 14th century order started by Edward III and Edward the Black Prince. I've got my handmade wool hosen on. They're kind of warm, but it's a summer weight wool. Summer in Denmark, not in Arkansas. Moving on up
during the
there.
little ice age.
Yeah, during the little ice age. This is a silk shell with a linen liner, surcoat based loosely on the Edward the Black Prince effigy. It's got the same gold linen or gold silk lion applique on it that Kim did by hand, and that's all handwork. It's got little channels sewn into it that are slightly padded to help protect the armor and give you kind of almost a spall catcher layer for arrow debris if arrow hits your armor underneath. I've got a spring steel and velvet covered breastplate based off the 1380s breastplate in the Munich Museum on under this. We then block printed in period fashion after we hand dyed the arming clothes. And she did that. She handmade the surcoat and had handmade the tripod we've got on here. They've got lapis lazuli and citrines that are applied onto that, and this is fully reversible.
Down through
and
the
it's
pipe.
all down through the pipe, and it's all brightly colored. If you watch a lot of medieval movies, everything is gray and brown. They didn't look like that. Look at medieval art. They're wearing blaze orange with neon pink with turquoise because they wore the brightest, gaudiest colors they could get because they liked it. It was festive. Life was hard, so make your clothes pretty and bright. A few times you'll see them get it right, like in Braveheart, you see some bright orange and yellow surcoats on people, but everybody's covered in mud and gray. No,
the animated Disney
the
Robin
world,
Hood movie.
the animated Disney Robin Hood. They've got good colors on. There's a few other, the old Laurence Olivier, Henry V, brightly colored everything. They liked a lot of bright colors, and so we've done blue and gold since that's this organization's kingdom colors. I've also got my little bronze chain done by Crafty Celts, and then back up to the hat, I got my little linen coif. It helps keep the sweat out of your eyes. You also tie it under your chin if you're putting a helmet on, keeps the helmet from tearing your hair out, things like that. I got my little signet ring on, and we have the kingdom cudgel we need to hand back. And I think, oh, and then the belt. This belt is from Armor and Castings, as are all our pins. We got this from TLC Leathercrafts. All of the metalwork on it is gold plated. It's real velvet, and I forgot what the core is. I think the core is leather, but it's velvet on the outside, linen on the inside, and everything on it is gold plated and enameled. So this is actually, we're getting to the point we've got some of the stuff that's actually of the correct social station for at least a mid-level knight. We've got some gold plated stuff and some silver stuff. So the idea of, oh, he's a knight, he's got rusty armor on and he's covered in mud. No, they didn't do that. That's beer commercial logic. They didn't dress like that.
Was it? No, that's a coffee commercial. That's got the beautiful.
There's a coffee commercial with the guy from ER that has better armor than most of the multi-million-dollar movies where they just throw him in a sweater spray painted silver and then toss mud on him, and like, no, that's so wrong. Anyway, that's oh, and I've also got the linen undershirt on underneath that, and I have a riveted mail collar up underneath this, so I've got the whole thing on. This isn't a go to battle armor. This is kind of, oh, I'm going to wear this to show that I can afford to wear this all the time, and look at how martial I am. Kind of a very Edward III, Edward the Black Prince, kind of early 100 Years War vibe. Is maybe 1360s, 1370s is what we're going for, even though most of it's a little later than that. So do a lot, and my rondel dagger. So I'm ready to rondel and to stab some people if I have to, but we don't want that to happen.
This is the registration area right here. It's important to get to these events early if you can, and have all your stuff ready so that when you're checking in, it's very quick. If you're not prepared and you don't have your receipts or paperwork or waivers ready, it makes it harder for everybody else, and then you get congestion in the registration area, and you try to avoid that. So if you paid online, you want to bring a receipt or have it on your phone or whatever, and then be ready to move through the line extremely quickly. Ask questions, they're all here to help and answer questions, but this is not a communal area, so don't be chatting with your friends in your registration. That just clutters everything up. The other thing you have to realize on when you see, like on Facebook or something, if you see there's not a lot of people registered, a lot of people will register at the time of the event. So like for this event, more than twice the people that were registered online are at the event. So that just gives you gauges, don't gauge an event by what people have done or what you see pre-registered on a social media network. As the game gets going, one of the other things you want to be cognizant of is the flux of roleplay. So as people start to get into their characters, it's important to give them their space. So like you see in this corner here, they are all set up, they're all in character, and they're all in their garb. And so you definitely don't want to be bringing in, don't be talking to them if you're in your street clothing. That side of the room is already all set up. So as people progress, it's important to try and be aware of who's already ready and who isn't, and respect those boundaries if you can. And then once the event gets started, absolutely no magic portal boxes and that kind of stuff. One of the other things to remember is these locations that the LARP groups rent out. A lot of them aren't completely, period. Obviously, we're not all sitting out there renting full castles with all the props. these games progress with the people who join the games. So the more people who play, the more people who join, the more fundage there is to increase the props, increase the immersion that we're striving for. So, and all games are pretty much the same. All groups are pretty much the same in that regard. So try to, you know, ignore the modernities and, you know, play the role play, play the game, play the fantasy as best you can. When you are doing feasting events, it's important to be on time or early. If you get there late, you might not have any food. So this morning I came to bring some eggs from our farm and donate them, and by the time I got here, breakfast was over. It was like 9 o'clock. Last night when I got to the first feast with the soup is already all gone. So when it comes to food, you got to get there on time. It's pretty important. And then also bring your own feasting gear and be sure to clean up after yourself as well. So try to not leave anything in the common areas. So with SMA, from what I literally just joined last night, and I've been reading some of the stuff, but it's important to try to do some of the research before you get going. And so they basically have 3 different pathways for your character: by the sword, by the robe, which is like your professions, and by the quill, which is like your support and stuff. So if you volunteer a lot in the kitchen and that kind of stuff, if that's your passion, and they appreciate it, because we all appreciate it, those are some of the things that no matter what you like to do, you can find something that you enjoy, or something, a skill or something that you want to, you know, keep progressing on through history, through skills, you know, be it blacksmithing, leathersmithing, herbalism, you know, just the food, the music, the atmosphere, you know, the battling, the fighting, the training. There's so much that you can do. You don't have to do all of it. And I think that's, a lot of people think they like read this stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't do all of this. Well, right. You know, take it a little at a time. And you don't have to have a perfect story right away and a character. You can do a lot of that through the forums and in the off time. It's important to try and learn some of the history and some of the names. But if you're just, you know, you want to support the group, you can show up the day of in most cases and wing it. You know, you battled from a stint of amnesia or, you know, something of that nature, and kind of just get a backstory quick if you can, or just kind of adapt and go as you want. It's a lot of fun, and you know, there's not a lot of bookwork in most of these games to get started.
Olivia, arise! Before you now comes your king and queen, Murdoch, the Northern Wolf, and Serena, second of their names.
Seek your ease. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, your graces.
Thank you, Your Masses, for driving all this way to join us on all the slumbers we did make it, and everyone else who came up and such lovely comments.
Ours are not gaudy enough.
They are not. We have some business, we have some fun, we have some things.
And we're gonna take a nap.
And we're going to take a nap. And
My apologies, you're late.
oh
You're dropping things.
My apologies, Your Grace.
Yeah, you come over here first. I think I got something about you.
God. There's feathers everywhere.
Council of the Great Larping Throne, we as the guardians of our blessed kingdom know well that at times there are those that, at the spur of the moment, must be called upon to do the will of the crown. Therefore, we call Alfred of Berwick to come forth and kneel before the feet of your sovereign and consort. Having observed your good work and noting the many sacrifices made to ensure the lot of our subjects does not go unnoticed, we commend your adaptability in order to put aside selfish pleasures such as sleep and sanity. Therefore, we choose to present you with the merit de Leon in accordance to your accomplishments as our battle scribe, recognized as 24th day of Augusta on El Pasus Domini for at their final court.
You could have said that like 2 a.m. Yes. You may return to your post. It's the post at which we're. Hey, where do you think you're going? You're back over here now.
You're getting enough sleep.
Apparently, just being.
To recognize the accomplishments of our subjects, there were a number of awards and orders created. We, Murdoch and Serena, King and Queen of Valendia, and the second of that name, take great pride in bestowing many awards and the accompanying scrolls, so that all may know the worth of our subjects. These scrolls are provided by Universitas Titavilius de Scriptorum Luminis, and over our reign, many by the hand of the Abbot Edvard. These works of art are themselves deserving of recognition, and today we would do just that by awarding Edvard von Dizoron le Doce du Lion as a sign of our great appreciation of his work and talent. Done this 24th day of August and Domine 4 at the final court. The scroll is not the work of the abbot.
She's sneaky.
In times of old, kingdoms and their people were defended by an elite class of warrior servants. In English-speaking lands, these were called knights. In our society, knighthood is earned on 3 paths. The Knight of the Quill, for service to the realm of the society. The path of the robe, for the works of arts and sciences. And the path of the sword, for endeavors with weapons of war. Lord King, Lady Queen, there is a candidate who has qualified himself for a knight bachelorhood in the order of the chain according to our tradition. Would Eowyn Swineherd please come forward?
Here do I, Eowyn Swineherder, I solemnly pledge to take up the knighthood
as a knight bachelor of our society.
as a knight bachelor of our society, and I will treat justly with all manner of folk. I will staunchly defend the weak,
Bravely face up to the strong.
briefly stake face up to the strong,
Boldly stand out for what is right.
boldly stand out for what is right,
Loyally serve your crown.
royally serve the crown,
Highly respect the church.
honestly respect the church,
Rigorously maintain my skills.
rigorously maintain my skills,
And offer prudent counsel
and offer prudent counsel
and wise teaching.
All the days of my life.
Take the sword, rise. Okay. So, accept this last blow unanswered. You okay? Accepting your name, I dub thee Sir Eowyn the Swine. That's you, Eowyn.
Now, good night. Please kneel once again and place your hand once more on the sword of state and swear feet to the ground. I say your name.
I, Eowyn the Swineherder,
Do now become
do now become
your man of life
your man of life in limb
and earthly worship.
and
Earthly worship
of earthly worship
from this day forward.
and unto you
Shall be true and faithful.
shall be true and faithful,
And bear to you
and bear to you
faith and honor.
faith for the honor
you have entrusted to me.
you have entrusted to me,
Saving only the privilege. Saving only
saving only the faith
I owe to God.
I owe to God.
We hear your oath and swear in return to be faithful each to you, and to reward your service with this new kind. There we go. And may God and St. Edward so help you. Arise and be a good night. My God.
Here's a
There is a
scroll.
scroll. Hey! Knight! We need your identity. You have a scroll.
Whereas Edwin Swineherd has fulfilled the requirements for elevation within our society to the rank of Knight Bachelor of the Order of the Golden Chain. Oh!
Okay, we're good.
Security.
Yes.
Okay. So we just call it.
At Royal Tournament and Investiture, you were granted your Knight Banneret with a promise of a future scroll. That scroll is present. Be it known that we, Murdoch II and Serena II, do make Cordelia Rochar a Knight Banneret of the Golden Manche.
It was upside down.
Let her sit first. Oh, sorry.
There we go. Ta-da! I had absolutely nothing to do with it. I like the lion.
And it's all like fabric pants and stuff. And I ran out of the
Outstanding. Beautiful.
All those physical memories.
My setup was too big.
Yeah.
I couldn't come with a banneret for someone who got her banneret for making banners.
It's a banner.
No.
For those in the back that didn't hear, it's a banneret scroll for the one who makes all the banners.
It was that of Knight Banneret. The Knight Bannerets were those knights closest to the crown and advisors and officers to the crown. Lord King, Lady Queen, before you sits a knight who has qualified himself for elevation to the rank of Knight Banneret in the Order of the Golden Quill.
Well, it's misspelled. It's two.
Solemnly pledge that I will take up the mantle of knighthood as a knight banneret of our society, that I will treat justly with all manner of folk, that I will staunchly defend the weak, bravely face up to the strong, boldly stand out for what is right, loyally serve the crown, piously respect the church, rigorously maintain my skills, and offer prudent counsel and wise teaching all the days of my life. All this I do swear.
For our newest Banneret, Ave!
Ave!
You have a presentation from your Shire of Straight.
Straight in.
Straight Haven, you have a presentation for their graces.
Pleasure.
So in addition to happy dragonflies here, they must have happy bees as well.
That looks so delicious. We have room in the wagon. We will have room in the wagon. There she is. We will have room in the wagon. Thank you. Thank you for hosting all of this.
Yes. This is that's right.
We have a message
For the gift of Straight Haven. Ave!
Ave!
Ave! Ave! Does the steward have any announcements he wishes to make?
Yes, they should probably have steward and marshal people running things.
Their graces now surrender the scepter and orb.
Oh, and
Thou shalt not count scroll 5 right out.
Their graces now pass on the royal cloaks.
Okay.
Oh, wait, chain's gonna choke me.
I guess I need to have one final quote. In the words of another famous MacArthur, I shall return.
So there you go. You watched a court. You watched the succession of a king and queen. Sorta. Apologies, the camera was kind of far away, but I didn't want to put it where it would be a bother to the immersion that we were trying to create. So it gives you some idea anyway. So next up, we are going to prepare for lunch and get ready to do some battles. It's extremely hot, so I brought a couple extra foam swords. We have to have at least 5 on the field to make it an official tournament. So we're going to try to scrounge and get as much foam out there as we can. We don't have enough real steel and we don't have enough rattan. So foam is all we got. So that's how we have to officially make it happen. So yeah, foam for the win, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're here down in the middle of Arkansas. And you just succeeded as queen. What got you into historical role play? Like, think way back. Well, how did you get started?
Well, I've always liked history, historical things. I started with dinosaurs, and you just kind of end up somewhere at some point in the Middle Ages. And I was talking with my roommate. Gosh, way back in college, as this fly won't stop. And she's like, "Hey, I know this group," and she dragged me out. It was a different organization, and she's like, "We're going to this thing." I'm like, "Okay, I guess we're going to this thing," and it hasn't stopped. And it's been, I think we've got like 5 different organizations we do stuff in with now, and yeah, all thanks to one person going, "You're coming with me."
And it's like part of your livelihood. It's part of your business.
It is kind of my business now. It's the historical glass painting. It is.
It's a inspiration for your being an author.
A bit.
The more stuff you know historically,
yeah.
the more things you can...
all the random stuff you learn that is font of random knowledge that people just don't expect.
What would be one word of advice that you would give to somebody thinking about starting doing this kind of role play?
Thing? Just do it. Just jump out. I mean, there's plenty of people out here who have loaner clothing, loaner stuff to wear. So if you don't, you just go like, "Hey," or even just reach out to them like, "Hey, I'm interested in this. You know, I don't have anything to wear, but I'll come with this event." It's usually, "Yeah, we have stuff for you to wear. We'll bring this. We'll do this," and people are usually really happy to have new people come out. So you don't have to be scared of or anything of, you know, "Oh, I'm not gonna fit in." No, we're a bunch of weird nerds here. You will fit in just fine. And some aren't. There's some actual, you know, doctors and people who are serious.
All walks of life, right?
Yeah, all walks of life.
Excellent. And then we have Scott over here. So Scott and Kim got married a few years ago.
Yep.
4 years ago.
And they have a beautiful child together. And
Crazy.
they live this life. They breathe, eat, sleep this life.
Yes.
Mostly.
And you've been to events all over the country.
Yep.
Even out of the country. Some of you, haven't you?
I haven't been.
Everything's in the country yet?
Everything's
for this particular
I've been out of the
group,
country,
yeah.
but not to the.
Yeah.
I haven't been to an event outside of the
I'm like, I think we haven't hit the West Coast.
If you follow him on any social media, he's always like, "Oh, I wish we could do this," and it's a lot of times stuff in Europe. So you would think he was there.
Nope. I've been to 2 events in Canada. That doesn't really count.
Well, technically.
Technically.
I mean, it was just.
So Scott, when did you start doing this?
The closest I could say probably 1993.
What do you remember? Why you got into it?
I went, "Hey, there's people sword fighting. I want to go hit them."
Okay.
That was pretty much it.
What would be a word of advice to somebody you think let's say somebody wanted to come to one of the SMA events, what would be a word of advice you'd give to them if they were thinking about coming?
Go to the website, find who's close, get in touch with them, and try to just hang out with the people near you. There's a lot of people that are out there by themselves or in ones and twos, and they're not as far away as they think if they start checking out who's on the website and contacting people through the Facebook group and the website.
And the Discord.
And the Discord, because we do have a Discord. After that, do the best you can and show up to your first event. If you're like, all I've got is a Halloween costume and some jeans, we will get you in something that'll make you happy and get you out playing enough, and then we'll help you start doing it to where you're up to where you're like, yes, I know that this is from this grapevine and my shoes are from this grapevine, and we can get you there. But just find some people that are at least close enough for you to hang out with, start talking to people on the Discord, the Facebook, and etc., and then figure out what era you want to do and start talking to the Order of...
Oh, the Guild?
The Guild.
The Guild of St. Cyriacus.
Guild of St. Cyriacus.
They're the Impressions Guild.
Impressions, they help you do your research to tailor it to what you want to do. I want to be a Viking, but I know everything on Vikings on History Channel is basically roadies for a metal band. What does a Viking actually look? We will send you some books and websites to get that. I want to be a Welsh yeoman. I saw these two pictures and it was really cool. What else do they wear other than, you know, a tripod, a tunic, and a longbow? Okay, you need these shoes and some other stuff. We'll find somebody who can point you in the direction of doing the research so you can find all the nooks and crannies of the thing you're interested in.
Excellent. All right, we are heading to the Society of Middle Ages event. Thornhaven something. We're on Arkansas 123 South. And this road is wild. It is full of 10-mile-an-hour hairpin turns with crazy elevation changes. I wish I would have filled up fuel before I went out here. You get a little range anxiety when you start going up into these hills like this, but we still got 90 miles. We're less than 78 miles from our destination, but whew, you start burning quick. And we just went over like a part of the road that just was washed out. So Arkansas 123 South. This would be an adventure motorcycle dream. Gonna have to take the adventure bike out here, do some tours, because holy cow is this awesome. And like, some of the weird part is I haven't seen a single car out here. Yeah, so that's the thing. The air evac helicopter's out. When the winds whip through the hills, it can throw that helicopter right into the trees. did a nice job.
I've never been on this road before, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah. So the sheriff is leading us through so we can keep going. The state troopers haven't cleared opening the highway yet, or the road yet, so this is how they're getting us through. So back on the road again. Looks like the motorcycle driver was his injuries did not look life-threatening, but who knows? They're not going to tell us that. He kissed it right over this crest. So I would have recorded. It was like a Harley bagger. Had some trikes with it, so I didn't want to keep recording. So 1-lane bridge. Fun times. One-lane bridge on a highway. That should tell you something about Arkansas's highways.